This is one of my favorite parts of the entire challenge. We made it to day 36, and this week, for the next couple of days, we're going to be celebrating our wins. And you might say, well, Christy, I am in the beginning of this, writing down my goals. I haven't actually accomplished anything yet. Well, we're going to talk about how to capture your wins so that as you go through and you're closing down goals and you're reaching milestones, you'll know how to do it. And so in your book, you'll see that there are these cute little pages. It looks like a refrigerator, the front of a refrigerator, right? Let me hold it up for you. It looks like the front of the refrigerator. You know how when you were a kid, you would bring home your assignments and like put them on the refrigerator, or you might have colored it something cute. Well, that's exactly what this is. So as you go through and you are completing things, you're marking things off, great things are happening in your life. Even if you didn't actually write something down as a goal or a milestone, but just something that you want to celebrate happens, you know what? Capture it down here. Put it on your vision refrigerator door and celebrate yourself. So I also like to call them thank you notes because like these are little thank you notes to yourself. Look what you were able to do. I love sending out thank you notes, handwritten thank you notes to people when they've done things for me. But think about like a thank you note for yourself. You know what? I stuck with this goal. Thank you, me. I did well. I am so happy that I achieved this thing. And then there are also ways that we can celebrate before we actually begin. So once you complete this challenge, the bulk of your action towards your goals will begin then. But if you want to do like we talked about in Habakkuk, in chapter 3, he rejoiced before he even saw what the Lord was going to do before anything even happened. I would start rejoicing right now. I would take a moment over these next couple of days and just rejoice in advance for what you know the Lord is going to do. Rejoice in advance for what the visions that He has shown you, the glimpses of things that are coming to pass. Rejoice in advance. Write yourself a little note. Put it on the front of your refrigerator, your vision refrigerator. All right. And as things happen throughout the year, over the next few weeks, months, whatever, of course, capture those down. But before anything kicks off, in anticipation for the breakthrough, in anticipation for that good thing happening, right? In anticipation for the overflow, in anticipation for God blowing your mind, let's go ahead and celebrate in advance. Let's celebrate the fact that we have gone through 36 days, consistent days of Vision Challenge. Let's celebrate the fact that we have written down and clarified our goals. They're so clear. This is just, let's celebrate the fact that this is the first time we've ever had clear, crystal clear goals like this at the beginning of the year, right? Let's celebrate the fact that we created a vision board with intentionality. And it's not just a collage of pretty pictures, but there is a purpose behind every single bullet. Let's celebrate that. All right. It's hard sometimes, especially for women, sometimes for us to celebrate ourselves. If you are a high achiever or overachiever or something like that, it's hard for you. I struggle. Do you hear me struggle with pausing to say, okay, let me celebrate myself before I start moving on to the next thing? So when I added this in here, it was very intentional because it holds me accountable to stop and celebrate, even before the journey begins, to celebrate what the Lord has shown me, right? So I want you to do that. I want you to celebrate. I want you to get excited. I want you to start clapping now in advance. All right. I want you to start thinking about different things that you can do for yourself as you are hitting these goals, as you are hitting milestones. So, for example, if you have a weight loss goal and you have an overall yearly goal, but also you have like a monthly milestone, I want you to find some way to celebrate yourself every time you hit that monthly milestone. If you have weekly milestones, I want you to find a way to celebrate yourself with that. If you have a money goal for the end of the year and you have monthly or weekly milestones, I want you to find ways, unique ways to celebrate yourself as you're going through the journey because that's a long runway from now through 12 months from now. That's a long journey. So instead of waiting until the end to celebrate, If you're like me, you'll be ready to go to the next thing. Celebrate along the way. Find creative ways to do that. All right. All right. We're getting closer to the end. Closer to the end. How you feeling? Are you okay? How you feeling? Put it in the chat. I want to hear how everybody's doing. I want to hear how the Lord is moving in your life. I got to be honest. I'm not tired, but I am, there's a anxiousness, there's an anticipation, right? I'm sitting in the anticipation space. I'm excited. I'm looking, I'm watching, I'm waiting for the Lord to move, and it's a good space to be in. So I want to hear how you're doing right now as we get closer to the end of this journey. All right. Okay. Well, that is all I have for you today. Final video coming out soon. But yeah, stay tuned. Talk to you later.